What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching another episode of Let's Play Ogre Battle 64. Today I gotta figure out how to best... Well, I could probably just leave those Beastmasters to... what's-her-face now? I think Magnus has done his job. Giving her a quick camp out to hopefully restore some health on that one young dragon. What I might actually do... This is terrible, don't ever do this. Put that young dragon in the back so he's not in any danger of dying. I just really want her to keep fighting, and I don't want to take the time to return to the stronghold. And at the same time, I really don't want her dragon to be dying. So, yeah. Okay, I just love getting phone calls in the middle of recording. I've completely forgotten where I was. Oh yeah, killing these guys. Who I may or may not ever actually catch. Well, this guy's in the corner, so let's go after him for the time being. Let the other guy run himself tired. His fatigue's getting pretty high. Preparing for combat! Should hopefully be able to at least kill that worm, no problem. Might actually be able to finish off the red dragon too, come to think of it. Ow. Of course I put that dragon in the back row, right where it was in line to get hit by fire breath. Level up! Shouldn't be too far away from their first promotion, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, and now let's go after you. Promoting young dragons is a very odd business, because like the way it works is for any beast unit or dragon unit or whatever you want to call it, they promote when they just kind of turn into the advanced unit type when their stats are sufficient. At the end of the battle, they'll just kind of transform. But for dragons, there's so many different kinds of dragons you can turn into that it kind of depends on. Well, let's put it this way: a dragon that has a certain element can only transform into a medium, or I guess the technical term is mature dragon, when they can only turn into a mature dragon of that element. So this guy, he's water elemental, so he can only turn into a blue dragon. This guy is earth elemental, so he can only turn into a green dragon. But every type of dragon has different stat requirements. Like, I think a blue dragon requires, like, mentality and vitality or something like that. An earth dragon might require, like, dexterity and strength or something. I don't know. But then there's also, every dragon has the possibility of turning into a white or a black dragon. Which I don't think those are the proper terms, but yeah. And that only happens if they have a certain alignment. So you can see that these guys are lawful. I've used all of my scrolls of discipline that I've got from doing birthdays. I've used them on these dragons. So they're going to eventually turn into, I think they might actually be called platinum dragons. I'm actually going to camp out too. So they're eventually going to turn into platinum dragons, but the thing is, platinum dragons have a completely different stat requirement than a a different type of dragon might. Okay, so she had less fatigue, so she breaks early. That also gives her a chance to regenerate a little bit of health. For what that's worth. Unfortunately, young dragons are... This is quite possibly the worst possible unit to deal with golems. So it's going to take quite a bit of time. What I think I might actually do is just, because of how long it'll take, I think I might just skip forward until the point where I have taken care of him. So I'll do that and be right back. Okay, so I managed to finish off that guy, and it's a good thing I decided to just kind of cut that out, because it would have looked like fighting the same unit for, what, like 4 minutes? So, sent her back to Stronghold, but it's not really going to end up mattering at all. Send Magnus after this fellow. What I'm actually going to do is something that you should probably do for pretty much all boss fights. Just to be safe, but if you set up a second character nearby, you can engage the boss immediately after the first person. So say Magnus fights with this guy, and oh god, there's another surprise Beastmaster. Named Guy. That's kind of convenient. But if, say, Magnus were to fight the leader, and he failed to kill the leader of that unit, he would automatically lose, and then what would happen is you would have to fight him again, but he would also then have some time to regenerate his health. So if you have a second person standing by ready to engage him like immediately after the first person gets knocked back, you can usually take out the leader without much difficulty before he has any chance to regenerate, which can be a pretty handy tactic. Granted, most of the time, if you send a decent unit, you shouldn't have any problem taking out the leader in one round. I mean, there are some exceptions, but that's usually the case. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to take out that Beast Tamer without kind of engaging this guy, so I'm just going to have to let him go. Wait, what? I'm facing this guy sideways. What kind of moron doesn't turn to face his opponent? Okay, well, I guess I should get ready to send my second guy after the leader, or lucky critical hit. I might actually be able to finish this off this time around after all. In fact, whoa, 52 damage. Yeah, I actually handled that quite easily. I guess Magnus is just that OP. Sorry, Makisi. Down he goes. Congratulations! And for that fight we get the Flame Flail, which, needless to say, is a weapon for a berserker, which you can tell by the fact that that berserker was using it. And apparently Aznabel has purple arms. Just doing my job, miss. Aznabel the Iron Hammer? How does everyone know my father? Well, at least there's one person who actually still has respect for him, though. I would think that would be kind of why we freed you. Well, I mean, I guess Frederick would say that we just freed him just to free him just because it's the right thing to do, but everyone knows the only reason you free someone from captivity is so they can join your force. So let's take a quick look at the organization screen because we got a couple new people. We got Katrina, who is a level 8 cleric, and we got Aznabel, who is a level 8 berserker. So, where do I want to put Aznabel? I believe in this unit. Replace one of my ninjas. So let's do that. Probably don't want to put him quite there, but whatever. And let me get my list here. Let's see. Where does my priestie go? Okay, I guess she goes in this unit. Yeah, why not? Actually, before I do that, I don't want to actually disband that unit, which would happen if I remove the archer, so let's change leaders, then remove character, and add Katrina into here. Come to think of it, that actually is a pretty good decision, because fencers tend to be a little bit flimsy, so having a healer to back them up is probably a good idea. And this unit, I want to switch Aznabel over there, and everything is just dandy. So now what I want to do is go back into Gunther Piedmont, because there's a couple things to do here. Let's see, I want to dispatch Orwell, who has Aznabel on his unit. And I want to dispatch Dio. And let's see, I want to send him to Inkel. That's Burgundy. Is Inkel all the way down here? It is. And Orwell, I want to send to Kinsea. Right there. Okay. And let's take a look here. Where's Mosaka? Oh, well that's inconvenient. Okay, well, I guess rather than just watching a whole lot of running around, I'm gonna do a little bit of cutting here. So once these people reach their destinations, I will meet you back here in, well, when that is the case. Okay, so our fellows have made it to their destinations. First we want to take, well, the unit with Aznabel in it, and enter Kinsea. And we meet some fans. Huh, so, Aznabel gave them a bit of a hand while they were in captivity, I suppose. And they just happened to have a really badass helmet sitting around. So they gave it to us. Which is, I'm a fan. Likewise, we take the unit with Katrina in it. And Katrina also has a fan. And for that, we get an Angel's Brooch. Brooch, however you pronounce that. Now, unfortunately, I also want to bring Dio over here, which is, of course, way the heck on the other side of the map. Again. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alrighty. Dio has arrived at his destination. So let's take a look at what's going on in here. This is a little bit more superfluous. It's not something that you actually benefit from, but it's interesting. This is, in fact, Dio's hometown. And this is Dio's little brother. So I thought that was interesting to kind of see. There is something that you can do in Burgundy if you've done some other things first, but I have not done set of other things quite yet. So I am going to have to do that a little bit later. Probably not going to have time to do that today. What we are going to have time for, though, is to witness Magnus's 30th birthday. That is not Magnus's 30th birthday. There we go. And now that we've got Katrina and Aznabel on our team, we got a couple more, we've got a full table of people who actually have faces. Although their banter is still not the most interesting ever. Yay, Aznabel actually said something that was actually somewhat insightful. And because this is one of our landmark birthdays, we actually get a good present, or I guess the other presents are good too, but an especially good present. We get the marching baton, which you give it to a unit, and they will accumulate they will accumulate fatigue slower. So I think I want to give that to Fidach. Usually it's a good idea to give the marching baton to... Actually, you know what? Let's give it to Katrina's unit instead. You want to give it to a unit that is resilient, because otherwise they can't really take advantage of the extra marching time. So Katrina's unit is pretty resilient because they have a healer. And also I want to give Aznabel the flame flail. And I also want to give him the Helm of the Fearless, which, as you can see, gives him a massive increase in damage. You can give it to anyone, really, who can wear helmets. Well, who can wear heavy helmets. You can give it to like a knight, something like that, but I find that it works best on berserkers, so I usually just give it to Aznabel. I should really give you great bows. Actually, I should check if they can change into archers. There's also the Angel's Brooch, but the thing about the Angel's Brooch is it's actually not all that good, if I recall correctly. Well, first let's take a quick look at the Helm of the Fearless. Plus 20 strength, minus 15 agility, but... So, yeah, very good for berserkers. If we look here, the Angel's Brooch, 1 resists strike, 2 resists dark. But it doesn't give you any intellect like the Rosary or the Amulet would, so it's really not all that good. However, it does sell for a pretty decent amount, so if you need some money, you can do that. Personally, I'm probably just going to leave it there, unless I really need to grind out an extra training session or something. Let's take a quick look at the list class. Anything interesting? They still can't change into archers. That's kind of disappointing. Okay, well, it looks like I don't have any class changes to do. So with that, I'm going to leave it here for today on Let's Play Ogre Battle 64. Catch you later.